Yo, what's good? What's happening? We back. Brand new episode of Threes from the Ring podcast. I know it's been a minute since we've given you any goddamn content on this channel. I apologize. Life has been lifing. This has been a pretty busy summer for me in terms of work and life and other things and all of that, but we gotta give you guys an episode, man. Too much has been going on, and I feel bad about it. But I got the boy Tyler here.
Yo, glad to be back. Yeah, it's definitely been busy for me too, adjusting to a new job and everything. But we here, man.
Exactly. We all doing things right now, so we all been busy. We won't have Trail on this episode of Threes from the Ring, primarily due to events that happened on SummerSlam. Day Trail is going to take a break.
Moral conflicts, man. Moral conflicts.
I respect. When we talk about it, I will put the respect on why I give him his respect for doing so.
Same.
But any those who as well, unless those who is but either way, respect. But Day Trail will be back when we are talking more basketball. So, or even if he probably turns into a leader, but I don't think he's going to do that to himself. But either way, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the patience. We still appreciate you guys even checking out the old TikTok content, because almost every day I get a notification of a like or something. So you guys are still checking us out on there, checking out old clips, old stuff as well. It's all greatly appreciated. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel as we speak. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. That subscribe button. Make sure you share with your people. Let people know you are rocking with us. We're still shooting for our goal to get to 1,000 followers before this year is over with. We're 200 away. Let's make it happen. Share with your people that you rock with us. And check out all the other content we got for you guys. Cam got you guys with the gotcha. Cam got you guys with the gotcha. All I can say is I don't know if you guys will get a Death Stranding review, but just know I'm telling you guys this as somebody who rarely play video games, but knowing Day Trail, he loves that game. He loves that game. But if you ever do get a Death Stranding review for him and Cam, or just Day Trail, know he loves that game. I'm telling you guys that now. By the way, this is a very heavy gaming month, by the way. But we'll also get you guys
the fact that GTA got pushed back a whole year, that opened the door for everybody again.
Everybody said, all right, we safe. Drop games.
Floodgates is open.
Everybody said we safe. It's safe. We can make money. See, look, we're going all over the place because we haven't potted in so long. But we will try to get you guys a Black Otaku's episode because the summer season is like halfway through. So me and Cam will give you guys an update. Day Trail will probably give you guys an impression on there as well. And last month we had Superman and Fantastic Four drop, and those were great movies in themselves. I feel like it was something else to talk about on there, but either way, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. But you guys are here to hear us talk about basketball and wrestling. Right now, we're gonna hold off on the basketball stuff. Yes, Luka got a contract. Luka lost weight. So in regards to that, that's the basketball news. That's it. It's really it. Luka lost weight. It's a big deal. He was going around Chicago. Luka was in the low end, G.
Yeah, he was about.
Luka was on the low end. Like he was at Dunbar, G. He was at Dunbar and Kenwood, G.
He was definitely in there.
He was in the trenches. But shout out to Luka though. But once again, he's from Slovenia, war-torn country. So this is nothing. Damn. Feel bad for Day Trail. He about to see a number of old heads.
And snow cone shirts. Snowman shirts.
About to see crazy snowman tees in 2025 is nuts. But other than that, basketball stuff, like we're probably a couple weeks away from in like not even training camp. When we probably start to like another month. But we will give you guys some basketball content on the next episode. It's been 4 years actually, because we was just talking about this prior to starting. It's been 4 years since we gave you guys our top 50 greatest players list. So with that said, and I looked at my list prior to us hitting record, and I was definitely like, hey, this list needs to be changed. This changes need to be made on this list. It is a certain big form who is not on my list at all. So factor in the last time we did a list back in 2021, a certain Serbian was not on this list at all. So things have changed. But but let's go ahead. We're gonna give you guys this wrestle talk. A lot has happened. In terms of the wrestle world the past few weeks, 2-3 weeks actually. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one. Hogan is dead.
Great. The title.
Hey man, look, man. It is what it is, G. You know how okay, before we look, man. We're gonna tell the truth. Was Hulk Hogan a icon in terms of the wrestle world? Yes. Is he a pop culture legend? Yes. Is Hulk Hogan a racist? Hell yes.
Yes.
Is Hulk Hogan
it's on tape? His own words.
On words. Is Hulk Hogan a horrible person towards his daughter? Yes.
Yes.
Is Hulk Hogan an asshole to the wrestle community and his peers who very few like? Hell yes. So, with that said, everything I said, there's truth to it. It's absolute truth. There was a point where WWE wanted no parts of him. Vince McMahon did not want no parts of him. And then, even then, Vince still brought him around. And don't forget, you know how bad people don't like you? WWE fans just cheered for the return of a urine lover. But they booed Hulk Hogan. His stock in the world was not that good prior to his demise. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
It's
just wasn't a good person, man. Straight up.
And yes,
we recognize we recognize, what he meant to the business and what he did for the business. But long term, like I'll give you another example. And even this guy, he's kind of teetering that slippery slope. But Ric Flair's legacy will probably be more intact than Hulk Hogan's legacy will be in terms of wrestling. And again, he's somebody that's teetering that slope. So, look out for that. But that's just how much his peers don't really care for him. That's I mean, what else can you say? Really?
There's not really much. Like, we're not going to spend too much time because it's been 2 weeks since it's passed and the man's already been buried and everything. But, there's plenty of people who, if you are a wrestling fan like us who never really gave up on the sport of pro wrestling, then yes, you're not going to sit there and be like, dang, I didn't know Hogan was all of that, even though it was a pretty slightly of a big deal. But either way, the man is who he was. He was not a good person. By no means was he a good person. But he's also, we want to pay respect for Hulk Hogan, the wrestling character, one of the best characters ever. He made the blueprint for the Rocks, the John Cena's, currently even as we see with Roman Reigns right now, for life post wrestling, So in terms of going to be an actor, going to be like a pop culture figure and all of that. So yes, he opened those doors for those people, Batista as well. And so credit will be given where credit is due, but he still is a scumbag at the end of the day. Outright is. Ask 90% of wrestling, of black wrestlers, how they feel about Hulk Hogan. They're going to tell you what it is. Look up any black wrestler outside who isn't Mark Henry and Booker T, unfortunately, because they don't like teetering on certain things. I get it. They from the South. They Texans. But
just stay back.
But fine. I'm pretty sure you type in New Jack and Hulk Hogan, you're gonna get as about as raw as it gets. Look up Junkyard Dog and Hulk Hogan. You probably gonna get something good. But in Order Rock, I'm gonna have to rock to that as well, because
yeah.
But either way, Hulk Hogan's who he is, man. But he's gone. He's gone, and there's probably one more figure who might get the celebration among the whole community in terms of his passing, and that is his initials is BKM. So with that said, hey, let's see. Hold on, bro. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. People ringing my doorbell. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Before we get to SummerSlam, let's catch up on AEW. So, since the last time we recorded, AEW has done some things. Let's quickly run through a few things. What was that? All In? It's All In, right? Or All Out?
In. It was all
I hate the fact we have pay-per-views that sound too similar. Stop that. But I believe it's All In. All In, which is arguably their form of WrestleMania, was in Dallas a month ago, and which pretty much led to the big reset. One of the biggest shocking things that happened from that event is the Young Bucks losing, which they lost to their EVP powers, but also they lost with Ospreay that following Wednesday. So lose. Tony Storm did I'm still shocked by this. Still, is Tony Storm beat Mercedes Moné in a really good match, really great match until you found until later that damn week, the next day. But either way, but shout out to them having one of the best women matches of the year. I'm still really shocked because it was one of those things I'm like, I hope they don't give her the belt, let Toni Storm keep it. But either way, shout out to them. One of the best matches of the year, one of the best women matches of the year. They can just even add that to it. And then the shocker, Hangman Page winning belt off Jon Moxley in a very Avengers Endgame type fashion, where everybody got involved. You said what?
That involved a fork.
Yeah, at one point a fork was involved, but once again, it's a death match. What do you expect? Is AEW. We love blood. So those were really the big highlights. Darby Allin came back from and survived Mount Everest. Shout out to him. So yeah, that's what's going on with AEW with that. So we're post Moxley's reign of terror, as I'm gonna call it. He pretty much pulled his 03 Triple H run and said, all right, who's gonna stop me? But I'm gonna still be I'm very much still like it should have been Darby. Even prior to Darby saying I'm about to climb a mountain, it should have been Darby. But I just think
it looked like it was leading towards that at one point.
Yeah. And then now he's on his best Sting gimmick, and it's like, bro, this will make sense if this would make so much more sense if it was legit Darby. If Moxley won, and then you leading up to Darby is doing a Sting 96 through 90. Well, when did he finally 97?
97
type thing. That would make sense. I would have been like, cool. I ain't mad at that. Surprised I hear nothing Sting say anything about Hogan. But anyway, but yeah,
shows how much somebody might care or the lack of care they have for him.
Exactly. But moving on. So Hangman has the belt, and right now I think he's in a train wreck to MJF, but MJF pissed off the Hurt Syndicate. So pretty much they saying, look, man.
Well, specifically Bobby Lashley. MVP is still trying to reel him in and keep him around.
No, I think this week, was it MVP that told him, hey, look, Bobby on your bumper, G. So you can try to win that belt, Bobby gonna beat your ass. If you win the belt, Bobby gonna beat your ass. So we'll see where things go, because once again, one of the reasons why Bobby Lashley is not in WWE right now is because he just don't want to get pinned by any old body. Once again, if people get mad at how Carmelo Hayes is booked, Bobby was supposed to lose to him in King of the Ring 2 years ago.
Yep. The crazy thing is, though, he's probably going to get pinned by MJF, though.
And which is going to be hilarious, because
it's not going to make sense for him to win the contract just for him to lose to Bobby.
Exactly. So we'll see what things happen, because Bobby Lashley just don't eat pins. He don't like eating pins. He don't want to eat pins to anybody. So we'll see what things go in regards to that. And also allegedly MVP has backstage heat. I'm not putting much stock into it, but we'll see where things go. It's AEW. Them people talk too much.
We've seen what backstage heat looks like there. So until it gets to that point, I don't care.
Yeah, but either way, we'll see where things go, because once again, with AEW, when things come out, there's a reason for it. It's most time it's truth. It's some truth to it. The names might not be accurate, but there's some truth to it. So we'll see. But that's what's been going on AEW lately. So yeah, so check it out. But before we even talk some, since this is, let's just get this out the way. As you see, Brock Lesnar's back. Unfortunately, like I said in the beginning of this episode, I didn't watch the pay-per-view live. I was at my all-class picnic, and as I'm getting ready to leave, all I see is the guys in the chat say, well, Tyler said he's back. Datra said, I'm done with the E. Well, I'm not done. He's taking a break for the E for a minute. And I'm just like, what happened? Tyler says Brock Lesnar came back, and I was like, huh?
I knew somebody was coming out based on the way it ended. Obviously I didn't think it was Brock, but I thought that double turn might have been coming.
Yeah,
he came out, got a huge pop. Well, I ain't even gonna say it was a huge pop. It was a slightly above average Brock Lesnar pop.
That was a big pop, bro. It's a stadium. That was a huge pop. People was.
I'm not trying to downplay it or whatever, but for me, it was kind of like, okay, I don't necessarily like this, but I'm interested to see where it goes. I understand people's frustration with it and shouldn't really be there, to be honest. He just really shouldn't.
He should not be there. But yeah,
and then they tried to bump it off as Cena requested him. Cena said, "No, I ain't requesting."
Cena trying to cover his ass. Look, he knows, because Cena can say no to anything in regards to his retirement tour. If anybody that has some fair shake in that company right now, it is him in terms of how he wants his retirement tour to be booked. Yes, that bald fraud named Dwayne screwed the beginning of it up, but hey, we're ending on a good note here, even though we're back into shaky ground. But point is, but as the person on this pod who is a huge Brock Lesnar fan, Brock Lesnar is one of my favorites of all time. Unfortunately, as a choice, I do not show his Funko Pop in my background for choice reasons, but because I don't want to be judged. But I am a huge Brock Lesnar fan. But when his name popped up in that lawsuit, even though he had very minimal his involvement, he still had involvement. His name is in it. And involved, as you see, urine, piss man. So with that said, there's one of those things where it's like, look, I can rock with somebody, but be honest. I'm able to rock with people and be honest. Be like, no, that man cannot be in this company. Even if I was in Triple H's shoes, I'll be like, look, he cannot be here right now, almost ever. So with this said, I feel it's a mistake. Now, once again, this goes back to the case of with Hogan. You have fans who are pretty much very much engaged, heavy wrestling fans like me and you, good portion of the internet, who are aware of the Janelle Grant case. I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to use this case as a WWE bad type thing, because once again, it falls mainly on Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who luckily survived the car accident. It falls on what's his name, Johnny Ace, his ass. It falls on them too, even though he tricked on his mans. He tricked on his man. But all that being said, Brock should not be on TV. He should not be on TV. Yes,
just out of respect for the roster of women that you have, or just women in general, but the roster of women you have today, you know, it just, to us, it probably looks like it's not a good look. To them, I mean, truthfully, to do something like that, it makes it seem like his involvement doesn't matter.
Agreed. And like, yes, you can sit there. Like, I've heard reports say that Brock wasn't as, like, he just thought of it as like Vince just shooting him a layup, you know, and not necessarily trying to, like, he didn't know all the details. That's something I've heard. I don't know how much truth is in that, but that don't make it no better, because that means you was being used as a pawn. And once again, that doesn't make Vince look good in this case.
Yeah. But
I will sit here and say this: those people who treat this case like it's Israel and Palestine kind of gotta chill. But at the same time, it's nasty work. He shouldn't be.
And again, like, morally, if you don't feel comfortable, just like with anything, if it conflicts with your morals, don't rock with it. It's totally understandable.
Exactly, which is why when Daytra said, "Hey, I'm taking a break," I respected it. I ain't joke about it or nothing. I respected it. I think I ha-ha'd it, but more because I'm not mad. It was more like it was funny, but I get it. I get it. And it's more, and literally, Daytra will probably be back in a month or two, depends. But we will see.
And truth be told, we probably ain't gonna see Brock more than 3 times for the rest of this year. Probably
freaking SmackDown.
He's not going to be.
Probably not. But we will see in regards to how things shape when it comes to this. But I'm a firm believer of this. If this was just regular old privatized WWE, as in TKO has no involvement, I don't believe the lawyers will have the common sense to look into it and be like, "Oh, keep them on TV." And I'm not going to sit there and say any corporation is perfect. Once again, Brock should not be on TV. I feel the same when the NBA let Miles Bridges continue to play freaking basketball. Yes, he is on the Charlotte Hornets. He should not be playing basketball.
Didn't he just get paid again too?
That as well. He has just got another decent contract, if I believe so. Nasty work. The NFL, don't even get us started on the NFL.
The NFL literally gives everybody the middle finger when
all I can say with this, Colin Kaepernick, when it comes to the NFL. I'm not even going to get started with the murderers who won Super Bowl championships. I'm not even gonna get started with the women abuse, the stuff like that, because I can name play. It's probably a player on every NFL roster at one point who has a domestic violence case on it. But and Muggs still watch the NFL at record numbers. So I'm not gonna sit there and be the morality police, but also I get it. But those who really stood firm with their morals and chose to not watch the NFL, even though many did go back, I will sit and say that. I know some who were very pro Kaepernick, they became very pro Trump out of nowhere. But
that's crazy.
Exactly.
That's literally two sides of the two.
You jumped a whole different boat. Like you jumped in entire different shit. But
yeah,
way,
like that's how
I will respect those who stand firm and be like, you know what? If he's going to be actively on TV, I'm just not going to watch the product. And I respect it. I'm not going, but don't be that person where you're just magically live tweeting, live posting, or even sharing clips of WWE product. You shouldn't be doing that. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them your views. Don't give them your stream. Do not give them your engagement.
Exactly.
At least in a public setting. Because all you're doing is bigging them up despite you being very anti them. So that even goes for the people who sit there and even hate on the product. Don't be, and this goes more for them Japanese, the mugs with the anime avies lusting after Japanese wrestlers at 3 a.m. in the morning. Because those are some of the biggest hate farming accounts. All you're doing is giving WWE engagement. Do not give them nothing. Do not. Because yes, if your moral compass is like that powerful, you should have the discipline to not entertain it. Because for me, look, I'm gonna look like a hypocrite. I still watch the NBA. I still watch the NFL. How do I look saying I'm quitting on the WWE because of a person who sent filthy text message? Because I'm gonna look like a madman. But also I understand that a lot of people who watch wrestling, they really don't watch other sports. Which when we talk about the ESPN thing,
that's how I know. That's how I know a lot of them. The ones that are outside of Day Trail, we understand his conflict with it. But it's a lot of people that's lying, saying that they're not finna watch it.
Yeah, you're still going to give quiet engagement. You're still going to quietly enjoy the product.
Hate watching is engagement. I just want y'all to know that. Hate watching
commenting, sharing anything, even if it's not directly from the WWE page, you're still sharing WWE product. And you can't close it as, oh, well, I was just sharing the Gunther match. I still love CM Punk. No. Don't give them nothing. And that's just my viewpoint on it, because it's just like you look hypocritical. So with that said, once again, I applaud those who are saying, know what, nah. Because even me for myself, it's just like all I can say, I enjoy wrestling, I enjoy the WWE product. It's not going to hurt how I view the product. It's just I'm literally side, like everything else, I side eye. Once again, Mercedes Moné went to a company where they still employed a man who said he wanted to sexually assault her. Even though that man barely be on TV like that, but still, I side eye. It's like if Cedric Alexander went to AEW. I've been like, bro, this man disrespected your wife on Twitter, and the tweets are still searchable. Side eye, because morally, that's crazy to me. Both situations are crazy, but I'm not gonna be this moral grandstanding pastor over here. I'm still gonna watch the product. I still watch AEW if I choose to watch it, and so it's just like it is what it is. Freaking Goldust is, come on now. But look, his record ain't clean. But all in all, with that all said, he's here. It's gonna be. I'm hopeful. It's just he gets the Cena match. Which, what's the next set of pay-per-view? I know Clash is coming up because
so they already booked Logan versus Cena for the Clash in Paris. then I believe because that's the end of this month.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know
That's
if they
different.
skip it September.
That's what I'm about to see real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to see their schedule now. Okay, that is pay-per-view schedule. All right, so SummerSlam, Wave Clash. That's probably about to be Crown Jewel.
All right, they do all us a Crown Jewel this year.
Then that's going to be at Australia. Crown Jewel is in Australia this year, which is why. Okay.
Probably because
the Rumble's at Saudi. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, more than likely that's going to be the Saudi show because there's nothing in September. It's going to be very weird. They really not. He probably is not going to pop back up on TV until close to Saudi. I mean, not Saudi. I mean Crown Jewel. There's nothing in September.
Is Crown Jewel in September, or are they saving that for October?
Crown Jewel is in October 11th, so he probably isn't going to pop back on TV until the end of September. The way this is looking like.
Yeah.
Cena's going to do a hard carry on selling this match because they probably want to limit putting him on TV too much.
Yeah, because he's going to be there next week for sure. They in Boston.
Cena?
Mm-hmm. They in Boston next week for SmackDown.
Yeah, so Brock. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by that. So
no, I'm saying Cena's definitely going to be there though.
Yeah, Cena's going to be there, but I mean Cena's going.
He ain't popping up until probably that last SmackDown.
He's going to pop
two SmackDowns before Crown Jewel, and they set it up that way.
That's really all you can do. Like that's what I mean, because you're pretty much giving Cena Logan now just to get that out the way. Because
my only issue. Well, obviously not the only issue, but my main issue with like booking this wise, we only have September, October, November, last matches in December. G. What is the remainder of this? I mean, is this going to be
thing going to look like?
Takes up, yeah, like that's what I'm really concerned about because people are saying, "Oh, he can try to go grab one more belt." I don't see him putting on another belt.
He's not. Like he got his final.
He got 17.
Yeah,
people want him to get the IC to say he won every belt, but if he wanted it, he would have actually
never won an IC title.
No,
that's crazy.
I don't even think he's ever challenged for it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I take that back. He might have challenged for it a few times when he had that one feud with Kevin Owens when he first got to the main roster. But outside of that, I think that he's never. I know for a fact he's never had it though.
Oh yeah, because Raw always had the IC title. Well, whatever show he was on had the IC title, but he was in the main event scene. Then when he
always had the big belt, so
he always had the big belt was in that scene and like even then like US title made sense because that was his first solo title. So,
but yeah, I don't see him. People are saying he could challenge Dom and everything. If you were going to do that, you would have to set that up now instead of doing the whole Brock Logan thing.
Exactly.
Which I actually would not mind that, but I don't think it's enough time for them to do that.
And the thing is, he said he only has 11 dates left. So with that said,
that being split up between 4 months, it's not enough.
It's not. But this is how I could see them going about this. He's definitely going to be a clash. We know that's confirmed.
Yeah.
I strongly believe him and Brock is going to be a Crown Jewel. That's your way of selling the Australia crowd, and yeah, you can get away with that there. He goes away. He might be the surprise teammate for San Diego War Games. He's definitely going to be in that War Games match. I'm guaranteeing you.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's the leader and he's putting a team together for the War Games match.
No, he's going to be the surprise. He's going to go away after Crown Jewel, because pretty much from there.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Because based on he's probably gonna work because like I said, based on dates, he might not be on SmackDown next week. He'll probably be on the SmackDown, the next 2 SmackDowns actually. He's gonna pop up on
next week. He'll be there because it's in Boston. That's when his last.
Oh, he's gonna be there next week. I take that back. Well, the final show supposed to be in Boston, alleged. That's like I said, they still rumoring that. But
he got one more SmackDown in Chicago, I believe, because they're coming to Chicago in September. So I think he'll definitely.
I need to get them tickets. I need them tickets. But just looking at all of this, like, yeah, he's gonna after the. He's probably gonna work more days.
After Crown Jewel, all we got left is, unless they do a double month.
I think he's going. That's why I believe he's going to be the surprise teammate on War Games.
Yeah, because Survivor Series probably won't be until the very end of the month.
That is.
You said Crown Jewel is like 11th of October.
Crown Jewel is on October 11th. Then there's nothing pay-per-view wise until War Games, which is at the end of November. That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to go away. He's going to bow out for a little bit. They're going to conserve his dates. He pops back up on War Games, and he just does the whole month of December leading up to his final show.
Yep.
Because it's supposed to be a Saturday night main event, but they haven't gave the date. That's it's because they always do a few of them, and then they normally do or don't do a pay-per-view in December because of the holidays, especially Triple H schedule.
Yeah, unless they're saying that it's either his last match is going to be on a Raw, or they may put together like a special Cena's farewell type of event show or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll see, because they've been rumoring it since the announcement of the retirement tour. So we will see. But either way,
but I also believe, and it's just me, because of the way, I mean, he could be dead serious, be like, after December, whatever, I'm never putting on these jorts again. That's it. But a part of me really believes that he's going to pop up at next year's Mania for one more. I don't know why, but I just have.
I think it's not going to be that soon. If he's going to it's going to be like the Stone Cold appearance. You'd be like, okay, look, we got Cena here. We didn't plan, but he's here. But this is his last. Remember, this is his retirement run. As in, like, look, I'm done. As in, I'm giving you guys as close to a full-time schedule, which he's been owning up to it. And also, I think they've been fake adding dates to the thing, because some people say technically he will be out of dates by October. So I was like, they're adding.
And he's worked some outfield dates from what I heard.
Yeah, but anyway, either way, the main thing is, like I said, it's gonna be interesting because it's just really gonna be who gets to retire him.
That's the biggest thing in the world. Like, whoever, I really hope that they really go all in on that, because that could be a moment maker for somebody too, depending on who it is.
I really wanted to be Gunther, man.
I think it could be, but
I really wanted to be Gunther.
But legacy wise, yeah. But how much does it do something for Gunther right now? Because legacy wise is going to be whatever.
But the thing is, though, look at the year Gunther has had. Besides losing to Jey Uso in Mania, but like overall, like he's taken out some legit people. He lost to CM Punk, but it's just like this is a way to heat Gunther back up, because he's going to take time off because he had a nose injury prior to the match with Punk. Gunther retire him would be huge for him.
Yeah, it definitely would.
So we can see where that goes, because I'm just over here thinking, but
if he does wrestle a couple more like TV matches or whatever, I'm trying to think like who else would it really be? Like after Logan, we don't need to see nothing else with Logan. I kind of feel like we're not gonna get one more between him and AJ, but it is possible. It's not like AJ is gone. To be honest, we probably get something with him and Drew.
That would
I can see us
good
getting something with him and Drew. I don't think they've had a one-on-one before.
Nope, they never had. At least I don't recall. But we'll see. It's one of those things where it's just we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
But I'm glad. Let's just get to SummerSlam. let's go. Let's just get to SummerSlam. All right, so SummerSlam was 2 nights, first time ever, and I can arguably sit and say both nights slapped. Strong showing both nights. Better than Mania, like easily. Like Mania was lackluster, but like both shows
definitely made up.
Finish was very strong. So let's go ahead and do night one. We're going to continue doing this. At this point, this is our official grading system for Threes from the Ring. We give a letter, and then we move on. You know, because I ain't trying to spend all day doing this. But and going into details unless it's worth it. But let's go ahead. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso beat Braun and Bronson. The lead up to this has been crazy. Look, Roman getting his shoes took for three straight weeks is nuts. It's hilarious and nuts at the same time. It wasn't something I expected, but it's a good way to get the Bronze over at this point while keeping them strong, but also keeping the faces strong in this case. So I'm glad that they did go about them winning, because they still gonna beat Roman ass at this point. And plus you protected the main people that need to be protected: Roman and Braun Breaker himself. Jay cool, Bronson, he's gonna be the one that's probably gonna take a bulk of the pin with Braun and Bronson being a tag team right now. But it was a cool match. It went by faster than I thought. Like, it was a 21-minute match, but it went by fast.
Yeah, it was very fast paced.
Yeah. But I'm giving this a B. Nothing too crazy, nothing too great, but it was definitely a good B match.
I give it a B. Roman, first of all, I didn't realize his vertical was like that. I seen him jump over that rope before, but he basically did a somersault over that rope on the two guys. Somebody that big should not be able to do that. So that was impressive. And he almost hurt himself. So probably won't see him do that for a while, but that was definitely a highlight of the match for me. That was an athletic feat.
Definitely was. But good match. So shout out to them. Good showing. Next, we had the women's tag title match. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss defeated Raquel and Roxanne. Decent match. Good paced match. I'm gonna give this once again a B. Solid B.
Solid B.
Once again, I would just say the good thing right now, Charlotte is doing something that isn't big world title, but also puts character development on her. You know, she's still herself, but it's just also, you know, it's something different. So anything you want to add before we move on?
Not really. The match was cool. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. Moving on, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Nothing else to really say. This was a Sami Zayn match. This is a B.
B.
Definitely a B. Nothing else, nothing more to add. Sami Zayn did a good job. He carried Karrion Kross to a B match. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. Now, this was the shortest match on the card, by the way. The shortest match on the card. 7 minutes. But once again, this was a very great, fast-paced match. Tiffany made Jade look good at points. And also, I didn't know Tiffany has yet to lose yet on the main roster.
On the main roster, period, or she just hasn't lost?
Period, she has yet to lose a match. At least a singles match.
Really?
She has yet to lose. They said it on commentary multiple times. Because this was one of the
things they just said this year since she...
No, she has yet to lose since she's been called up in singles.
That's interesting. Okay, so I got something for that then.
But
because if Jade wasn't going to be the one to stop her, I know exactly who it is.
Big B's. We already know.
I know I see the vision. We know the play.
Big B's. But
this was another solid match. I'm gonna give it a B. Also, it was kind of at first, like when the match first ends, you kind of like, but you kind of get it based on, like you said, what they said. You know, with her being undefeated, and then I think really it really felt like a heat check for both of them. I think both of them are where they need to be right now.
Yeah, like it's like I'm a firm believer that Jade is probably going to win the Royal Rumble. You still want to develop her. You want to see how she looks next in a match like this. And she did not stray from it. She did a good job in terms of, like, once again, and I feel like a lot of it goes to Tiffany striding forward, making Jade look strong, but also keeping herself strong as well. They even gave Jade the false victory pin. You know, if it wasn't for when she did the jaded and then rolled back too far, which goes back to you can play off with Jade still inexperienced card, blah 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 blah. But it's a good.
But it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but I mean in a storyline sense, not the she's still green as hell. But, you just still got to really work on her selling. That's really all it is. Like, Jade is not a good seller at all. She needs to talk to Bianca in terms of how to sell. But like I said, it was good. It was a solid match. Like I said, I know I'm giving everything a B right now, but once again, it was a B. It was a B sprint. It was a strong B sprint. So I give credit where credit is due with that. Next we had Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul beating Randy Orton in Jelly Roll, which I'm surprised this match was 17 minutes, but mainly because Jelly Roll died and we thought he died at that moment.
They tried to K that man's chest in.
But this was very much of a C plus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the most thrilled to see this match. I'm just kind of over the whole celebrity matches.
It's gonna happen at this point.
It's gonna happen, but I just don't really care for them at this point.
I know, and I'm just saying like this as well.
Jelly Roll's cool, you know, but it's only so much I'm finna sit down and watch for it.
Yeah, this was one of those, like, we could skip, man. All right, next, and I would say this is match of the weekend: Gunther versus CM Punk. Look, man, violence, orchestrated pro wrestling violence, man.
Straight up.
Bret Hart saw this match and was disgusted. That's how you know this gets the
fire.
The threes from the ring, Z tier. Threes from the ring, Z tier. These dudes did that thing, G.
I don't know where I would rank it in all time SummerSlam main events, but I would say in this era, it would be considered a classic.
It's a strong one. This has a strong case for, like, this past. I'm gonna just put this past decade as probably the best. But strong classic when it comes to this. I'm happy that they gave us this match. At first, I was nervous because I'm like, and look, these are two of the best ring generals we have of our time in terms of wrestling. And, you know, sometimes they overthink these type of matches, and they gave
let it be as simple as can be.
Simple, but also they stayed true to themselves, but gave us cinema, man. And once again, Gunther is probably the most dominant person, but the only person who beats Gunther most of the time is Gunther himself, G. Exactly. Every time he loses, it's because he's like, you know what? I gotta mock you. I gotta taunt you. So I slip up a little bit because I get too in my pride
to their level. That's where he screws himself.
Exactly. It's just like he's like, no, man, I gotta make you feel like you're utter crap. You're horse crap. You're under my boot, as he likes to say. And then it's just that moment. The Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, CM Punk says, you know what? Nah. It'll be just like this. But also another thing.
You know what this match made me realize too?
What?
Storyline wise, you can say Gunther doesn't come through when it really, really mattered. When he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, he dropped it to Sami at Mania. Mm-hmm. He had his world title reign. He dropped it to Jey at Mania. second world title reign, dropped it to Punk at SummerSlam. They could narratively use that to when he does get to Cena and be like, hey, can you actually pull it off and get the job done?
Yeah, you can argue that. Yeah,
that's a good play.
You could definitely run that. I could definitely see that being ran. You can do that. It's depending on like, hey, look, you not beating a lot of big timers, G. Yeah, you got your belt back against Jay. Saturday, it was on Raw, nigga. Yeah, you beat so and so for the belt. So we do it at this.
Exactly.
So you can run that with Gunther and just see what happens. But either way, the only way you beat Gunther is if he lets you beat him. And matter of fact, are you not gonna get too beat up where you can take advantage of it?
Exactly.
And this is another thing. Stop taunting CM Punk when you're on the announcer table.
Yeah,
your downfall is going to be fast approaching. Your downfall is going to be near.
That's a spot at this point.
It really is. CM Punk, like,
I'm standing on the table talking shit. All right,
got him, man. Shoot, but either way, great match. CM Punk proceeds to win. And I would even say this: even after when Gunther was bleeding, he still was not going out like no hoe.
Yeah, he was like,
he still tried to choke that man out. You forget, he still tried to choke that man out. It wasn't like
I'm not gonna lie. If he would have won that way though, that would have been cold. Just the visual of that happening would have been cold.
That would have been wrong. I'd been like, crown my GOAT, man. Crown him. But even then, just the whole finish, like CM Punk getting out the chokehold by a desperate, bloody Gunther. The first GTS where Gunther like, dang, spit out his own blood a little bit, and Punk said, all right, I'll give you another one. And then we got the pin. We all happy. And then we like, all right, ain't no credits yet, so we ain't see the Triple H and Will buddy credit pop up. Will Fitting, exactly, whatever bro name is. Don't even know how dude look, but and then you hear this Seth Rollins thing pop up, and we just like, and then men come out in the crutches. And all of a sudden says this, G. It was too quiet.
It was. Because he did say that they was gonna give us an update like right before, and they never did. And then he comes out.
Never gave an update. They never did. And it's
a real villain, man.
Real life villain. The man said he had lied to his daughter. G. Man said he lied to his daughter. Imagine lying to a 5-year-old that you hurt, that you're not really that well, you hurt, but not that hurt. There's a video of him in crutches running with his daughter, G. Come on.
Crazy.
The man so fooled many people, even though I still like I was one of the few to believe he's cashing in. He's cashing in. And I think his sole purpose was if I'm gonna cash in, it's gonna be on Punk. He wanted to cash in.
I think it was always gonna be on Punk though. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him doing it on Cody or Cena. Just like narratively, it don't make sense for you to do that.
I can see why he would do it to Cody, but he hates Punk.
Yeah, like it's like it's too apparent that hatred is there for real.
So it's just storyline wise, it's just like, wait, why cash in on these little? I'm gonna cash in on him. I don't like him.
Seth Rollins and Lex Luthor are tied for hater of the year this year.
Yes, easily. Because there's no way that you coming for my demise, like my golden moment. I come back 10 plus years, I'm holding the big gold again, and then you sit there and be like, nah.
Isn't this kind of a callback too? Didn't Shawn Michaels like kind of like kayfabe, like fake an injury, and Bret Hart was pissed off at him?
It was the lost my smile thing situation, but yeah, it was somewhat that.
I see the play.
It's the play with that, and then also is the call. People was even Matt Hardy saying thanks Seth Rollins for getting vengeance for Jeff when Jeff was hurt.
I was not expecting that tweet. I really was.
I was like, damn, that did happen.
They was there when that happened too. Both of them was there.
See, even worse.
No, I think they were there night 2 because they showed them on TV.
No, they was there. But either way, look, shout out to that was a great cash in, great way of going about it. Seth is look, man, he's a madman. G, look, he gets it. Seth gets it, bro. He gets it. But night one. But also, by the way, that I did say that was a Z tier match. So shout out to that. Even with the moment, same for me. It would have still, even without that, still Z tier. All it is just made it undisputed Z tier because of the moment at the end. But let's go to night 2. All right. So we got Naomi defeating Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in once again, you getting a triple threat with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at this point. You going for a Z tier match, man. You going for Z tier. Now, once again, we've had put Rhea Ripley and Io Sky matches in Z tier nonstop this year. If you want, you could check out one of our clips on TikTok, one of our most viewed wrestling clips. And people were like, we thought you was talking slander in the match. No. Z tier is good, man. But
Io Sky herself has been on a run of matches for like the last 3. Ever since she came back, she's been on a run of really good matches.
Definitely agree. She's been on her thing, and I like we said, best performer in the world, G, undisputed, and she's gonna keep showing you guys that, man. So, but either way, Z tier again, G. Naomi got a Z tier match. Welcome to the Z tier Hall of Fame, man. We got 2 Z tier matches in one weekend. Man. So, but happy for Naomi. Naomi's on a great run. She fights Io this coming Monday on Raw. So that should be a great match. Expect shenanigans in regards to Naomi winning, especially as she gets ready to fight Stephanie Baker, or Naomi might call her Stephanie Vacuum.
That's that's her next match, ain't it?
At Clash, yeah. But she's fighting Io for the title. I think Io wants a match on Raw this week. I believe it's this week. So at this point, you're just building Naomi up just to get ready for the match itself. But Naomi been doing the damn thing. So I'm happy.
She's on a great run for herself. I'm really happy to see the character that she's built.
Yeah. So overall, happy for her. Shout out to Black Excellence, man. But let's go ahead and move on. So we had the 6 tag team TLC match in honor of what I think it was 15 years or
25 years to the day for the first
25 years of TLC. So shout out to that. Beautiful. Love to see it. But I'm not happy to why it's 6-1. It is what it is.
I'm not mad only because the match was really good.
It was a great match. It's an 8. It was definitely an A. This is a strong A. For one, the SmackDown division is crazy. All I'm gonna say is this: SmackDown needs to go back to being at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It needs to be 2.5 hours. You need that extra.
Yeah, 30. I kind of hate that they took away that extra hour.
USA, give them that extra. They need that time, bro. They need it. We're just gonna be real. They need the extra time, just so you can feature the tag team to flesh out the tag division more, but also even the good women talent.
Other segments too.
But yeah. But honestly, A-tier match. I ain't gonna really stress too much on it. It was a really great match. Some of those spots is nuts. Candice LeRae, I hope you are well, because falling through a ladder is nuts. That was nuts. Next, we had Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Once again, this was a great match. A+ match. Not Z tier, but A. Strong A. Chemistry with Tim is great. And right now, I'm happy with the result as well, because you're separating Lyra from that belt for now. You can move her to fight Naomi. I don't think Stephanie wins yet. By the way, I think they're going to hold off on that. But you can do a Naomi Lyra situation after Lyra and Bayley have their fun shenanigans.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's I like the work that Becky's doing with it too. I think she was, as far as like the portrayal of her trying to say, like, they're trying to run the vets out of the business for all these young guns, is like, I'm not going nowhere. Like, I'm still really in your prime, really. So she's kind of, she's leading that charge, and I think I could see her dropping it to Bailey, but I think it's gonna be somebody else.
No, well, I don't think you're gonna. Like, I don't know who. Well, I think right now Becky's gonna do what she did with the NXT time, just fight random people.
Yeah.
So, but no. Well, she is fighting. Which twin? Nikki Bella. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, she fought. That's the next person, but she is doing random matches with people. So shout out to her. But moving on, Solo versus Jacob. Let's see.
I'm gonna hold you, man. Kind of mid. They reportedly missed a spot or two. But I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was kind of, only reason it was disappointing is because I kind of like the storyline that they have going for Solo and his character right now. Like, he's finally in a character that I think definitely fits who he wants to be on TV. Mm-hmm. So I can't say that he's not doing good work. It's just his in-ring work still. He just got to kind of, be a little bit more clean, or just execute a little bit better. I'll say
he's more execution. Like, he's not horrible.
He's not terrible.
It's just I would say he's moments of improvement. But yeah, now we're talking about improvement, man. We talking about his next match, Dom versus AJ.
Fight, man.
This is an A+. This was an A match.
This is definitely an A match. A+ for me.
Like, between the Eddie callbacks, the sports entertainment, but Dom is improvement.
Dom gets better every year.
Dom is definitely in the running for most improved. Like, he's definitely in that running for most improved so far, performer wise. And this man is hot. Pause. Not like, but like, the crowd love this guy. They love Dom, G. When he went to Mexico, G, that was nuts.
Oh, they went crazy for him.
Like, they treated him like it was actually Ray popping up, G. Like, Dom,
and that's off his own work, though. That's off of it. Ain't just because he's a Mysterio. It's like he really put in the work to be the character that he is and separate himself.
Yeah. So. But yeah, so just with overall, like, hey, shout out to that match. That was a really great match. The chair thing was still hilarious. Like, that was one of those, like, I'm happy, but look, man, please, Ray. This is, once again, I'm keep pleading for this.
Man, we gotta let it happen.
It's time to retire. I don't know what. Your knees are pretty much at this point Dorito crumbs.
Stem cells ain't stemming.
It's time. Have that hair versus mask match, and put your son over. Well, he's already over, but all you're going to do is solidify your son even more.
Solidify him as one of those guys in his era. I think he's already in the process of making himself, but that's a moment maker for anybody that's deserving of it.
Definitely agree. So we will see, but overall, well, man, I'm happy for Dom, G.
Happy for AJ too, because I think that might be his last SummerSlam. So
potentially as well. We'll see. Next, look, man. This wasn't Z tier, but I'm putting it in AA tier, man. Cena and Cody did their thing. So Cody won. Shout out to Cody, man. This was the battles of Super Cena versus Super Cody, man. And I'm glad it happened how it happened, man. Even though people mad that Cody pretty much survived 8 AAs. Look, man.
Especially that one off the top rope was crazy. I thought he was done.
He should have been done, but once
that
again,
one off the top rope because he got tossed. It wasn't just like he landed right below where they was at. He
tossed that man across the
ring.
ring. He tossed that man halfway across the ring. It was nuts. But no, Cena was definitely in his like, look, bro, I'm throwing everything I got at you, and Cody sold it for $1 million. And this was a great match, especially because look, man, Cena in street fights. Look, you ready for war? We're gonna go to war.
Yeah,
my favorite
it could have got worse.
It could have got worse, but since we already had blood already, and then you can't really sell me on two faces making each other bleed. You really can't.
At least not in this. I feel like it would have to be more heated for it to get to that point.
Exactly. Like if Cena was still on his heelish ways, then yeah, you would probably have back-to-back nights of bleeding. But overall, this was a really great match, fun match. Like you got the best out of both, and it ended on a really great note. Cody made the look. If I gotta take you out, I'm gonna take you out. And when he did the salute, I was like, "Yep." He said, "I gotta take you out, man." Took him out. But really good match. Really, really great match. Then we got the unfortunate ending that we got.
Yeah.
Which we already talked about. But we're not
all in all for their first double two-night SummerSlam. That was pretty good.
No, it was. Like I have really no real complaints at all. It's just still once again my fear is, which is the rumor that they want to do more multi-night pay-per-views, and I'm just like, you got look. SummerSlam makes sense. Mania makes sense. Rumble, no.
No. I think Survivor Series can make sense, but not in the format that they're doing it right now.
No. Even still, hell no. It's a hell no for me. I'm sorry, no. I'm good.
Right now, I would say no. But
I still say no forever.
If you're gonna do it to any of them, it should only be like your big four pay-per-views.
It shouldn't even be the big four. Mania's cool. SummerSlam, depending on the year, but even then, I'm not mad at SummerSlam. Makes sense, but like I'm good on anything else. Like you don't need 2 nights.
My thing with Survivor Series in general, I just want them to go back to a format that just it gives us that Survivor Series feel. It don't feel like Survivor Series no more. For real.
No, I get it.
And then they don't really even treat it. I really don't feel outside of adding the War Games match. I really don't feel like they treat it as much of an important pay-per-view. Consider because in Survivor Series, their first actual pay-per-view.
I don't know. I gotta go back and look. I'm not no historian like that.
But it just used to. I feel like it used to be treated as just as much as an important pay-per-view as SummerSlam. Like they used to try to go all out for Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's one of those things where they still care about significantly. Like it wouldn't hurt.
You got your stars, and
if they what will make it meaningful outside of the War Games, because once again, at this point, I don't even see how do you keep in what are you about War Game? But it's
to be honest, I don't even want a War Games match there.
It's going to be one either way, but I'm
is
to the point where it's I already said Survivor Series War Games, but I'm over it more in a sense because you have tons of factions now, which makes it work. But it's just you force the women to have one, and I feel like you're doing that. Once again, I'm not trying to sound sexist or nothing, but you're forcing it with the women to me because the women don't always need it.
Yeah,
that's where it's like we're overdoing it. If you just gave us one, cool, and then we go from there. But you don't need a women's War Games match, and then next thing you know, I see goddamn. Like you got Rhea, Io, Asuka, and Kyrie, and then you bring over Bianca Belair from SmackDown. Why?
Yeah, it's like
that makes no sense.
If you're gonna do that, you should do a traditional Survivor Series tag team match.
Yeah, and that's what
it's really lacking.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, it has no purpose a lot of times, because I'm like, the women don't faction beef like that. Like, not significantly, at least to me, where it's not worth a damn.
Yeah.
Like it was a couple years ago where it made sense when Damage Control was, because you had a strong woman faction who was causing hell. It made sense. But last year, I don't think it made much sense. This year, I don't see anything unless Raquel and Roxanne be on some other shit, but I don't see that right now. So that's why I'm like, you really don't need to give the women's one of War Games this year. I already feel like this upcoming one is going to be really the Seth and them with insert random person against Roman, Jay, and two other niggas.
Probably Sammy and Punk.
Exactly. That's probably where we're about to go with that.
And then it's like with these men's teams, we're getting these same teams almost every year now.
Exactly. Like, I don't need to see Roman in I don't need to see Roman in every War Games match. I don't need to see Jay in every War Games match. I don't need to see Sammy in every War Games match. Punk just did it last year. Seth makes sense because he wasn't in it last year, but he was in the year prior.
The year that Punk came back.
Yeah, the year, because that was the Judgment Day. So it made sense. But you don't need, like, that's where it's just like, okay, we're starting to see the same people's getting redundant in a sense. So that's why I'm like,
especially considering that you have a decent amount of people on the roster where you can use that pay-per-view to showcase them in those traditional tag team matches.
Yeah, like if you actually gave the traditional joints, that would help. You know, that's where I feel like it would be helpful. Have a brand supremacy match. Mix it up a little bit, you know. That's what I mean. Is just give us a little more variety.
Even give us like something to for people's emotions to latch on in terms of the War Games match. Like make something like actually like high stakes, like the original matches were like, if this team wins, they get yada yada yada. If this team wins, they get whatever. Like give it some type of stipulation or something to give it some type of oomph. Especially with that being that's technically the last pay-per-view of the year. That can have implications going into whatever's happened for the rest of the year for that last month, going all the way into Mania season.
Well, you got to factor in the last month, like, is normally when they reel it in, because especially once again Triple H era, they take they get legit a true holiday break.
They get a break, which they deserve. Like
they record literally 2 weeks of Raw and SmackDown, and then like around Christmas they do the holiday tour. So like they legit like reel it in after. So I get you really don't want to do too much either. But it's just, I just think if you limit to one War Games, you can do better. Is just add the traditional tag team stuff as well. Yeah. I want to see brand supremacy. That's something I actually enjoyed during the Vince era, was the brand supremacy stuff with Survivor Series.
The last I would say like great all around Survivor Series weekend was that year that they had NXT invade.
Yeah, when NXT invaded, that was really good.
That was good.
And I think that would be nice.
A lot of people.
I will argue and sit there and do this. Do a NXT TNA type invasion type thing. More of a TNA invasion.
Which I think is leading to
type
anyway.
Invasion thing. And see where that goes. I think that would be really dope.
Yeah.
Do that, and I think you see where things go with that. But yeah, that's that. But before we wrap up,
then you got the access to AAA now. You can bring in some of those AAA guys for the event, or it's plenty that you could do.
Yeah, like you could get creative. But before we wrap up, we're gonna get ready to wrap up. But let's quickly talk about WWE PLEs will be on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer app starting next year.
So they're coming up with a new app, or they're adding it to ESPN Plus?
So pretty much ESPN is going to redo Plus. Pretty much that's the plan. It's going to be probably like how it's just going to say ESPN, but it's still it's ESPN Plus, but just supposedly better. So like everything will be on there. Like you can actually watch live, even on ESPN Plus. You can watch live Sports Center. But once again, but you can like they have everything. They just recently got the deal with the NFL where they have Red Zone and all of that. Like I know once NBA season, you get access to basketball. You still got UFC content that will be on there. Excuse me, other sports as well. Now, when this was announced, people were mad. I was confused because I was definitely one of those people. I'm like, Peacock was actually a good app. I agree, even though once again, I'm a firm believer. The best thing about the WWE Network was the fact that I can skip and know what match is coming up. That was the best thing about that app. I'm standing firm on that. Was the WWE Network perfect? No. But that was one of the best features was no like, oh yeah. So when I'm rewatching old shows, you can sit there and see what's going on. But anyway, but PLEs will be exclusively on ESPN's app, and which was $30 a month. But people heard $30. That's a lot. I'm about to put my pirate hat on. I'm about to be Luffy and put on my straw hat. I'm like, all right, nigga. But with that said, over now, this is where once again, in the moment, it's okay to be mad, but some people still being ignorant. It was announced that if you have access, if you have cable, even YouTube TV, and you have access to ESPN, you're good. You do not have to drop an additional $30. So for me, who has
so
YouTube
the pay-per-views
TV,
are gonna pop up on ESPN, the actual channel?
No. So it's like if you have access to ESPN, like through YouTube TV, for me, for example, all I gotta do is download the new ESPN app whenever that launches. They're gonna ask, hey, do you have Comcast? Do you have YouTube TV? Yes, I have YouTube TV. Put your login and link your account. Boom. They're gonna see that, oh, I'm paying for the ESPN package, and boom, I'm good.
So also, if you have YouTube TV and you're paying for a certain package that includes
ESPN, which I think
ESPN.
The base package involves ESPN anyway. So I'm good regardless. If you want to, even let's say you got Hulu Live TV, they have an ESPN package, which
that's getting integrated into Disney Plus anyway. So.
Exactly. So either way, you have access, and that's going to end up having
So you don't necessarily have to get the ESPN app. As long as whatever you're streaming on has access to ESPN, you can watch it.
Exactly. You have access to the app without paying additional money. So if you have Comcast cable, you're good. As long as you have access to ESPN and the ESPN package.
So on the actual ESPN channel, the day of the pay-per-view, it'll show up on that channel.
Not on the ESPN channel, the app.
So that's where it's confusing to me. So YouTube TV, right, has ESPN.
Yes.
When
you have access to my ESPN.
I know, but what I'm asking is, because that's why I was confusing, because it's like
you need
have access to that.
You still
need to have that. But that's just to log in, right?
To log in, yeah. You log into the ESPN app and then you just watch WrestleMania.
So basically, you still need the app.
Yes, but you don't have to pay $30.
Okay.
You only paying $30 if you do not have no cable, no YouTube TV.
Right. If you don't have access to anything else.
Nothing. Yeah. If you don't have anything else, then you're gonna have to pay $30. That's pretty much how that goes. So, like, since, for example, I have YouTube TV, I'll just give you guys my login to the app, and then you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just how that goes. So once that was pretty much confirmed by people, a lot of people was like, well, let's put it this way. People who aren't broke. I hate to literally look, I'm about to turn into our homie Cam from Gotcha on the Gotcha and Black Otakus. I'm not broke. I have bills, I have responsibilities, I budget, but I'm not broke. I'm broke after I pay my bills, but I'm not broke. So I pay, unfortunately, for YouTube TV. But at the same time, I have friends, I have family, I have access to other things, other apps. So my unfortunate $90+ that go into YouTube TV, I don't have to make a new bill. And then my friends benefit as well, because Tyler, I'm pretty sure you like Peacock.
Yeah,
you like that. So for you'll probably keep paying the $8. Well, they just had a price increase. But
well, I knew that they told us like a month or two ago that price was going up. So
okay.
I
didn't know. But either way, you're gonna keep Peacock. And so it's like, okay, cool, I'll keep it. I'll just give you guys my login, as long as they don't pull that device limit shit. But give you guys my login, boom, you're good. Simple as that.
So then my other question is, they only moving like the yearly pay-per-views over to the ESPN?
It would just be the pay-per-views. That's it. Okay. Nothing else, nothing more.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, having to reintegrate that entire catalog into a whole nother app again, bro. I'm like, they kind of doing too much.
Yeah, and that's where things still is tricky, because
even with that deal is about to come up soon, ain't it?
Well, no, they just said that I think SmackDown's gonna stay on Peacock. So like I said, this is where things start to get really, really tricky, because I think the Peacock contract ends at the start of 2026. So pretty much the PLEs was open season. ESPN said we want that. ESPN said we want that. So they took it. They paid they $1.5 billion for pay-per-views. So, but it's up to either Peacock or Netflix to pay for everything else. Do you want the whole, like, who's going to get the catalog? Because at this point, the pay-per-views are going to be on ESPN. I wouldn't be shocked, though, whoever gets the catalog, they still get access to the pay-per-views, but they probably won't pop up on there until a month later or something.
Yeah.
So that's where things.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, because after the live viewing, then the after viewing gets added to the catalog anyway. Yeah,
but pretty much Peacock did say no matter what happens, SmackDown will still be on Peacock, because Peacock is under USA. So USA is under NBC, which is Peacock.
And that's a separate deal than them having a catalog.
Yeah, that's a separate deal. So they still gonna keep SmackDown. But the bigger question is, where is the catalog going to go? Who's going to have access to the catalog? Is it going to stay on Peacock, or is Netflix going to take everything? Which they still got to upload more Raw. They don't have all the Raws yet. They still really behind. Like,
and that's what my thing is. It's like, you might as well pay whatever you got to pay to keep it there, because it's just the reintegration moving from app to app. Like, it's gonna mess things up again.
Yeah. So at this point, they got to look into, like, I think that's the next step, because I believe the deal ends some point in 2026. So they have to figure out who's getting the catalog, your back catalog and stuff like that, the ECW stuff, all of that. So that's the more important thing, because either way, like, your live shows, Raw, SmackDown, and stuff all have their homes, but it's just the catalog. Because, like, regardless, like, wrestling fans like looking at old stuff. So you want to try to keep it. Well, you want to see what you can get. So we'll see where that goes. But either way, if you don't have a friend who loves sports, and you're a wrestling fan who just only watches wrestling,
you're paying that $30.
You can sit there and you could pretend to be Straw Hat Luffy all you want. You can pretend to be my nigga here. You not him. It's not y'all, man. Y'all not my man.
Because to be honest, you really can't.
Y'all not him.
Really can't pirate them.
Y'all not him. Y'all not. Especially with ESPN. Look, man. ESPN do not play when it comes to the streaming shit. I mean, pirating. See what they do with UFC.
Yeah, you was able to catch UFC's alleged but not
ESPN
anymore.
do not play, G. They do not play. If Daytra was here, he would co-sign. ESPN does not play. UFC, even before ESPN got involved, UFC did not play. Dana White is putting your stream in the chokehold immediately. ESPN, the mouse don't play. Mouse don't play. Don't.
This was gonna happen, man. They catch you pirating. You're gonna get a visit from Mortimer Mouse. You wanna know who Mortimer Mouse is? Look it up.
Do your Googles, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this episode up, man. We appreciate you guys listening to us talk about wrestling for an hour and a half. Crazy. But either way, next episode, like I said, Daytra will be back. We're going, like I said, he might not be in the wrestling half of it, but for hoops, we'll catch up a little bit on hoops, what's been going on. We'll talk about Dildo Gate, WNBA shit.
I heard they caught somebody too.
They arrested the hell out of somebody.
Boy.
Yeah, some 18-year-old white boy.
They said Buddy looked like Andy Milonakis.
Man, those type of people have a look. I've been telling y'all, man. Have a look. But anyway, we intend to do our top 50 greatest players list, our personal top 50 greatest players list. So be on the lookout for that when the next episode drops. We appreciate you guys as always. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your people. Let them know you are rocking with us. You Tweaking Media. Check us out on TikTok at UTM Clips. You Tweaking Media on there as well. And check out the Twitter page, 3's from the Ring, 3S from the Ring as well. We appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Peace.